Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. We are closing out our 5th week, and I cannot believe it. You guys, keep the momentum up. Remember, it is important that we finish strong. That is our mantra for these last 2 weeks. It is finish strong. And those of you who are, moving into the next round, you're not just finishing like our Lift to Get Lean program strong, you are finishing the year strong. How amazing is it going to be to start a new year and already have made progress towards your goals? Like, what a wonderful way to begin a new year. Now, earlier on this week, I had talked about one of the things that you need to be successful, and it's consistency. And I said there are 2 things that are going to ensure that you are successful no matter what. In really whatever endeavor, whether it's a new business venture, whether it is, losing 50 pounds, running a marathon, training for a triathlon. You need to be consistent with your efforts, right? But then you also need to be resilient. Because when you're resilient, you get knocked down, but you get right back up. And that plays into your consistency. And that leads me into today's talk, which is all about the 3 R's. We've got 2 sets of 3 S's. And then now we have our 3 R's. And we're talking about reframing, refocusing, and resilience. And this is all up here, you guys. And in your mind is where your mind is what you have to change if you want to lead this lifestyle. It's really a Lift to Get Lean lifestyle. And I really hope it seems as though you've adopted some really great habits. The feedback that you guys are sharing with me, I am just overwhelmed every single week with your wins. Now, let's go into this reframing. Reframing, simply stated, turning our frown upside down. But that's kind of cheesy. And sometimes you're like, well, I don't want to turn my frown upside down. But it's important to reframe situations when you are feeling negative about things. So when you first think about, if you decided to track macronutrients and you're like, oh, this is so hard. Yeah, it is hard at first. It's been so long that I forget how hard it is. But what if you can reframe that to say, wow, I'm challenging myself to learn a new skill. Instead of saying I have to give up chips and guacamole, reframe it into I'm actually adding in all of these other really great foods. So the situation is gonna be the same, but the way you look at it, the frame that you use is gonna determine what you see. Here's the deal, you guys. You are gonna see whatever it is you're looking for. So make sure that what you're looking for are the bright spots. We could go through this program and focus on all the negative. Oh my God, these workouts are so hard. Oh my God, I have to go to bed earlier. Oh my gosh, I had to say no to all the cake at the birthday parties. Oh my gosh, she's making me write in my journal. No, this is all great stuff, right? I am becoming a better person. I am becoming more self-aware. I am growing. I am expanding. I am leveling up. So you just need to be mindful of how you look at situations. And it's like, half empty, half full type of glass. Same glass. Same glass. It's just the way that we perceive it. And your perception is everything. You have to take control of the way that you are perceiving all these situations around you. And you have the power to spin everything positively. When you notice yourself maybe moving into a negative space, because this is a long process, because this is a lifestyle, because there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows, it's important that we choose to focus, reframe on the positives. Again, this is why every Friday I have you think about all the great stuff that happened. I bet if I asked you what bad things happened, you could give me just as much information. But I am choosing not to focus on that, right? We're focusing on positivity, focusing on growth. Now, in addition to reframing, let's talk about superpowers. What are our superpowers? Chances are your superpower is the opposite of something negative about you. So I've got a few instances here, a few examples. So if you are someone that struggles with daydreaming, like maybe you sit at your desk and your mind wanders off, creativity and imagination, those are your superpowers. How can you use that? If you are someone who overdoes things, I tend to have a lot of those kind of people in the group. Your superpower is intensity and drive. How can we harness that intensity and drive so that it moves you forward without burning you out? If you are super type A, your superpower is planning and organization. We can use those skills. You can plan your meals, you can plan your workouts, you can have your gym bag organized. That's going to serve you in this. If you have trouble saying no to others, which I know a lot of you guys do, your superpower is being very caring and sensitive and nurturing. So let's use that and be caring and nurturing and sensitive to yourself. So it's the same person, it's the same traits, but by shifting the way that we think of them, we take something that could potentially be negative and we turn it into your superpower. And I want you to use that to help you succeed in the long run. Now, just a couple quick tips on reframing. We want to reframe problems as opportunities, okay? Those of you that are in business or you manage people, you're probably familiar with this. How can you learn and grow from this challenge? Let's spin it. Reframe negative qualities into superpowers. All you have to do is flip that potentially negative trait and turn it into a superpower. And reframe I have to into I get to. So those of you who, maybe you struggle with getting workouts in or you hate meal prep, how lucky am I that I am healthy enough that I get to go work out? How lucky am I that I can afford to have this equipment in my house? How lucky am I that my spouse has offered to watch the kids so I can go and get my workout in? How lucky am I that I have the financial resources that I can plan my meals and I'm not having to run to Taco Bell because I know that I can get a super cheap meal for my entire family there, right? We are so lucky and I hate the word blessed, but we are so fortunate that we have the ability to do all of these things and we shouldn't lose sight of that. A lot of people would love to do what we're doing, but for whatever reasons in their head, and maybe they are legitimate reasons, they can't. Like you were able to pay for this program. $200, that's a lot of money to a lot of people. Probably some people, but probably a lot of us in this group, right? But we were able to pay that. And so we should definitely take full advantage of it. Now, refocusing, because you guys know you're going to have downturns. So how can we refocus and get back on track? First of all, take ownership of it. Whenever I am feeling down, and not to say that my way is the best way, but you have to pull yourself back up, okay? Listen to a podcast. Listen to one of your favorite songs that gets you in your peak state before you go work out or it gets you in a happy mood. Talk to a friend that always, gets you into a positive frame of mind. Go out and so that you can shift your mentality. If you are stewing at your desk, something went wrong at work and it's starting to filter into other areas of your life, get up away from your desk, take a walk, listen to a book, find something that is going to help you snap out of it. Maybe it's like a verbal trigger, like you have a mantra that you say to yourself, like, you got this, you got this, I got this, I got this. My mind, again, not that I'm the best, but my mind, it's just a scrolling positivity Instagram. That's all it is. Or a Pinterest board. I got all these things in my ticker. And I encourage you to do the same. I would assume that talking to me is super annoying because I'm always saying quotes from like Wayne Dyer and Brendan Burchard and Tony Robbins. But that's the things that are in the back of my mind. You have to have that positivity reel going. And if it's not going naturally, go and seek it out. Get positive. Go to YouTube, watch those videos. I was so pumped this time when that one day I asked you guys to share your favorite motivational quote and videos. So many people participated. Like, you have the resources, use them. Use a tried and true routine. Whenever you're feeling down, maybe there's something that always snaps you out of it. Typically for me, going to the gym will snap me out of it. Listening to one of my favorite songs and getting to the gym will absolutely do it. Watching a Brendan Burchard video absolutely does it. A lot of people now are super fired up on Rachel Hollis. Do it. And then, oh yeah, another thing you can do is imagine just parking whatever issue is getting you down outside. Park it outside when you go into work. Park it outside when you go to the gym. It can be there when you return, when you leave for work, when you leave from work that day, when you are done with the gym. I've got a couple yoga teachers in here, Leanne and Lael. Sarah, you teach too. You guys know you can't bring your stuff into your classes. That's one of my favorite things about teaching, is that it truly brings me into the present moment. So you check your baggage at the door so you can serve other people. And then when you come back to your baggage, you just have a better frame of mind. And it's wonderful for reframing and refocusing. So those are a couple things. Just remember, you will be distracted. Things are going to happen, and that's okay. That's normal. You will need to deal with interruptions. The kids aren't going to sleep through the night. Your spouse is going to go out of town. You're not going to have time to go to the grocery store. That's okay, right? Life is not perfect. We have to learn how to deal with life. And there is no such thing as a losing streak. Every moment is a chance to get back in the game, right? If you fell off the last 4 weeks, that is fine, because today is the day to start right back up. You can start right back up with dinner. You could start tonight by going for a walk. You could start tonight by having a great meal, and then tomorrow morning being very active. And notice, I'm not even saying working out. Be more active. You just have to be prepared and have a plan to get back on track. Don't wait, right? The longer we wait, the harder it is. We all know this. And that's how a lot of you came to me, right? We waited too long. We were waiting for just the right time or whatever, but the longer you wait, the harder it is and the more catch-up work that you have to do. So just strike. Don't wait for motivation. Just do it. And don't beat yourself up for allowing that pause to happen, because it happens to the best of us. And finally, don't use like a derailment or getting off track as an excuse to just quit altogether, right? Because that's not going to get you anywhere. And that's not what you want. Deep down, that's not what you want, because you know who you are, you know who you want to be, and you know that your future best self would not let you stay in that state. So this all brings us to resilience. When you think resilience, I want you to think bouncy ball, right? It hits the ground, and the harder it hits the ground, the higher it bounces up. You are a bouncy ball, right? I'm rubber, you're glue. Bounces off me and sticks to you. That's one of my favorite things. And I'm going to talk to you about a little study here that was done a while ago. I actually don't know when. So back in the day, they thought that resilience was like a special trait that only certain people had, like people who are really strong of will. It turns out there is nothing special about people who exhibit resilience. We all have that in us. It's just a matter of tapping into it. And here's the deal, you guys. We have evolved to adapt. That is how we have survived. You can adapt to any situation. So that means you can bounce back from any situation. And just remember that resilience is a process. You just have to be committed to it. It's a set of actions and a way of looking at the world. So here it is. We're reframing again. No matter what happens to you, trust in your innate ability to survive and eventually thrive again. You might encounter an issue with adrenal fatigue. You have to come back from that. You might have an injury that's going to take you out of the game for a while. You might get stuck at work, and then, a lot of times people are really busy with work, and they're also going to school at the same time, and they also have a family to raise, right? That may not be your best time to focus on losing 20 pounds, but that doesn't mean once you finish up with school that you shouldn't refocus and put that at the top of your priority list again, right? That's just you being resilient with your goals. What you have to remember is just try to stay relaxed and trust that you will survive, because you will. And really all it takes is action. Action, right? Action is what gets us motivated. Action gets us in the mood. So the same principle that we've used with motivation, it applies to resilience. If anyone here has anxiety, and my guess is that a lot of people do, because everyone I encounter has anxiety. I can't remember who said this, but they say that one of the best anecdotes to anxiety is action. I notice if I start to feel overwhelmed in life, if I just start doing things on my list, I do start to feel better. I feel more capable. Random call coming in. So that's really the big talk for today. I'm going to type a few things up in the description. So if you need to focus on this, you can. This is a great journaling activity. How do you look at the world? And we don't have to all be super positive pants, but I want your thoughts to be serving you, moving you forward, and not holding you back. And sometimes you have to take hard look at the way we look at the world and realize, I need to change my perspective. And it's okay to be, every now and then. But if it's holding you back from reaching your goals, then you need to snap out of it. But consistency and resilience, if you have these two things, nothing is stopping you. You guys have an awesome weekend. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Let's see those macros tonight, and we're going to plow through week 6. Talk to you soon.